Once upon a time in a kingdom far, far away, there was a young man named Alfred who had a problem. And that problem was his backpack. It wasn't just an ordinary backpack. It was extraordinary in every way. It was large enough to carry his entire bedroom, for crying out loud. But it also had some peculiar habits. The thing would grow legs and run away from him. Yes, you heard that right, run away. And he had no idea why. You see, this backpack was no ordinary bag, Dado, no. This backpack was magic. Instead, it rumbled and shook, its zippers vibrating ominously. He strapped the backpack to his shoulders and took a deep breath, bracing himself for whatever surprises it had in store for him. But to his surprise, the backpack didn't try to run away again. Instead, it seemed to calm down, almost as if it had sensed his determination to keep it under control. Alfred could feel the energy inside the bag, eager to break free and go exploring. But he wasn't about to let it get away again. What brings you to my humble abode? Alfred explained about his grandfather's cryptic note and his quest to find the guardians of the compass. The moment the scale hit the surface, the water began to glow and swirl until it formed a mirror image of Alfred. Staring back at him with wide eyes, the doppelganger reached out a hand and beckoned for him to follow. Hesitantly, Alfred reached out and grabbed the scale. With trembling hands, Alfred knocked on the door, and when it opened, he stepped inside and found himself in a vast library unlike any he had ever seen before. Towering shelves stretched as far as the eye could see, filled with ancient texts and forbidden grimoires. Would he be able to prove himself worthy of the backpack as power, or would he fail and lose its guidance forever? To find out what happens next, make sure to click on the link below to watch the next part of this exciting adventure. Don't forget to subscribe to join Alfred on his incredible journey. And with that, let the adventure continue. And at the end of the room sat a regal-looking woman wearing a crown of stars. The woman nodded slowly, a knowing smile spreading across her wrinkled face. In this fantastical world, Alfred encountered all sorts of strange and wonderful creatures, each more bizarre than the last. There were fluffy pink dragons that breathed glitter instead of fire, trees that sang sweet melodies, and rivers that flowed uphill. I see you have the compass rose in your possession. It seeks knowledge, does it not? I am the keeper of knowledge, and I have been expecting you. Before Alfred could speak, the compass backpack began to glow brightly, and a booming voice echoed through the library. The second guardian has been found, it declared. Knowledge is power, but wisdom is the key that unlocks its potential. As the voice faded away, Alfred turned back to the woman, who was now smiling warmly at him. Are you ready to test your wisdom, young seeker? She asked. But as beautiful as this place was, Alfred couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to it, a deeper meaning hidden beneath the surface, and as he pressed on, he began to realize that this world was a reflection of his own mind, a manifestation of his deepest desires and greatest fears very well. I should be the first guardian you seek. Not only was the backpack stubborn and unpredictable, it was also full of his grandfather's research and other valuable items Alfred needed it to stay put. It had been passed down to Alfred from his grandfather, a renowned adventurer who had traveled the world and collected all sorts of trinkets and treasures, including one very mischievous backpack. That is until one day when his grandfather passed away and left him with a cryptic note and, of course, his magical backpack. As he looked into the strange swirling patterns on its surface, he knew that it was up to him to guide this creature and help it fulfill its destiny. As he watched, the dot grew brighter and brighter until it turned into a tiny compass rose. Suddenly, Alfred understood. The backpack wasn't just running away, it was trying to lead him somewhere. And as he followed its winding path, he had a feeling that he was getting close to one of the guardians of the compass. And that's where our story begins. As he stepped inside, he was greeted by the musty smell of old books and the faint glow of 1,000 candles. And there in the center of the room sat a wizened old woman stirring a bubbling cauldron. The note simply said, "Find the 4 guardians of the compass." But it didn't say anything about what or who those guardians were or where they might be found. All Alfred had to go on was his own wits and the cryptic clues hidden within the stories in his beloved books. Unfortunately, Alfred wasn't like his grandfather. He was a simpleton, a bookish young man who loved nothing more than reading about far-off lands instead of traveling them himself. He spent his days in the royal library, lost in tales of daring adventurers and far-off kingdoms. Yes, you guessed it. It had grown legs. It was trying to run away again. But this time Alfred was prepared. With a flick of his wrist, he pulled on a strap and yanked the backpack back to him. "Ho there," he said, trying to sound stern, but he couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder as well. "Where are you trying to go?" And while he dreamed of adventure, he had no idea what it was like to experience one firsthand. And so, with his trusty backpack by his side, Alfred set off into the unknown, determined to find the four guardians of the compass and uncover the secrets of his family's past. One day, as Alfred was strolling through a bustling marketplace, he felt the backpack suddenly become heavy, and then it started moving. But of course, the backpack didn't answer. It wasn't good at that sort of thing. So he did the only thing he could think of. As they continued their journey, Alfred realized that the backpack wasn't just a magical artifact. It was also a living creature, a being of pure adventure and curiosity that yearned to explore the world. Just then, Alfred noticed something strange. A small red dot had appeared on the back of the backpack, right between its two eyes. Following the backpack's winding path, Alfred found himself at the edge of town, standing before a weathered old building that looked like it had been here since the beginning of time. "Greetings, traveler," she rasped, her voice like the crackling of a bonfire. She gestured for him to approach the cauldron, and when he did, she dropped a single shimmering scale into the bubbling liquid. As soon as his fingers made contact with the cool metal, a jolt of energy surged through him, and he found himself whisked away to a realm of pure imagination. And all the while, the compass backpack led the way, guiding him deeper and deeper into the heart of this enchanted land. After what felt like hours, the backpack came to a stop in front of a towering castle made entirely of books. "Welcome, Alfred," she said, her voice echoing with power. And thus began Alfred's trials to become the seeker of knowledge.